They say there's magic to be found in the forests, the meadows, and all the hidden corners of our natural world if we're only willing to see. It is a world within our world that can only be perceived when our senses are open, our spirit curious, and our imagination free. What if the magic we've lost as adults is still here, waiting quietly beneath the surface? A little while ago, I have moved to the countryside in beautiful Sweden, surrounded by enchanted forests and vast meadows. The nature surrounding my home looks like it is out of a fairy tale. Lush trees are towering towards the sky, creating a whole new world below their thick canopies. The forest floor is covered with moss and the air is filled with the earthy scent of pine. I believe it was my deep yearning for a light-hearted life, one filled with magic and small moments of wonder that led me here. The forest has always held an enchanting, mysterious energy for me, a place where the ordinary meets tales of an enchanted land. The seasons have changed since I have arrived at my new home here in Sweden. Nature's rhythms always remind me of life's cycles, encouraging the flow with its changing seasons and discovering beauty in every stage along the way. In this new season of my life, I'm letting more and more of the old go and seeing life for what it truly is. I'm learning what it means to create a home, to stop running towards a better future, but create a life that is meaningful in the present moment. After all, if we keep running, we miss the magic of life that is always unfolding in the present moment. A place where the ordinary meets tales of an enchanted land. Life moves fast, weeks turn into years, and before we know it, we forget why we're here. We get caught up in the systems, expectations, and noise of the world, but beneath all of it, there's something much deeper, and knowing that there's so much more to life than we might perceive at the present moment. It's been almost a year of working on this video, and there have been countless moments of doubt and fear, wondering if it is safe to leave the old behind and embark on the journey of finding truth. But here I am, because some things need to be said, and we shouldn't let fear hold us back from becoming who we came here to be. This past winter has been incredibly challenging. Every day was yet another grey day. It felt like the world had been stripped of color and like life itself had paused, waiting for something to shift. And in that stillness, I found the courage to pursue what really matters. Every one of us comes to Earth with a calling that guides us out of a life we were never meant to dwell in and help us create the life we came here to live. It helps us to rediscover our inner light that we then carry into the world with courage and faith. Our calling is our innermost compass. We brought it with us as we knew that times can get uncertain and feeling lost is a part of life. We're not here by chance and we can never be truly lost. Even long before we have found our calling, it is always guiding us back home. I wanted to share a little story with you from my experience with the hope of showing you another layer to life, one that is beneath the surface of our everyday life. Just a few years ago, I quit university, I left my job, and my life started to change drastically. But it wasn't really anything that I did that changed everything. It was a calling from within. I started to become aware of this quiet voice inside of me that told me something completely different than the world had been telling me for the past 20 years. It sounded something like this: Helena, open your heart again for life and for God. You don't have to suffer anymore. You were living a life that was never truly yours, one that is built on stories that you were told. But you're awake now, and your true path is calling you. Once I started to listen to that voice, my life started to change drastically, because growth is our natural state, and if we resist it, we lose connection to ourselves and our inner light, which is our connection to everything that exists. You see, as children, we still remember our purpose for this lifetime on Earth. We came here to participate in the evolution of our Earth and to carry our unique light into this world, to live a life of lightheartedness, freedom, and truth. When I was a child, I loved writing stories and being in front of the camera. I followed my inner guidance and my passion. I was still connected to the bigger picture and to the knowing that we all bring here. But growing up, most of us lose that connection to ourselves and to our inner light, which is our connection to everything that exists. As a consequence of that perceived loss and the noise of the world, we start to live a life based on what we see outside of us instead of what we feel deep inside of us. When I lost that connection to my inner light, my unique compass, due to facing trauma, my life started to become pretty heavy pretty quickly, and for the next 20 years I was living a life separated from myself and my truth. It took me many years to reconnect with my inner light again and to tell another story, to express myself in a creative way again. But I'm here now. I'm here for myself and I'm here for you. Maybe this is your time to reconnect with your inner light and pursue what really matters. What really matters is that we embrace who we truly are, that we stop listening to the noise of the world, but rather listen to our knowing within. It's about remembering that life is not only about surviving, but about fully living, creating, and experiencing the magic that is all around us. Because life is not what it seems. This little life of ours on this earth might just be a small chapter in our story, but it is an important part of the greater story that we're all part of. In the previous chapter of my life story, it has been so uncomfortably heavy and dark that it made me feel empty inside. I was depressed and had lost any hope or inspiration to keep living, let alone to create a life that felt meaningful to me. A heavy blanket of expectations, pressure and responsibilities weighed down on my heart, leaving no room for the lightness and freedom I longed for. Yet it was in the darkest of moments that I rediscovered something invaluable. I rediscovered a world that I had long forgotten about, a world that I forgot to believe in, a world of magic, wonder, lightheartedness, and freedom. My inner voice has guided me to reconnect with my inner child, to set on the journey of finding this world of magic and wonder once again. Then within childlike wonder and lightheartedness lies a deep well of inspiration, creativity, and truth. So what I think really matters is for us to truly listen to our inner voice that just ever so quietly speaks to us and tells us to courageously follow our calling. We have been taught not to trust ourselves, and as a consequence, we stopped listening to that inner voice. Deep down, I've always known that life isn't meant to be so heavy, so serious and mundane. After all, magic, wonder and creativity are the very fabric that this world is made of and built upon. We have simply forgotten to look beyond what can be perceived only with our physical eyes. When we welcome magic and enchantment into our lives again, we set out on a journey that inevitably guides us back home, to a world we are deeply familiar with, yet cannot perceive with our human eyes. The life that awaits us is more beautiful and extraordinary than we could ever comprehend. There are no limits to the life that we can create for ourselves. Imagination creates reality, and imagination has no limits. Our calling is a compass that will lead us to discover not only the life we're meant to live, but also the person we're meant to become. Who would you be if you gave the magic and wonder you once believed in another chance? If you let the enchantment of nature and the beauty of simple moments wash away the heaviness of the world that was never yours to carry from the beginning? There is magic to be found in this world as within us, and we're only beginning to understand how seeking it in our everyday life can make a difference in our experience here on Earth. With that, I wish you a wonderful day and a lot of hope and wonder to continue creating the story of your life. All is well.